Michele Eichler joins us now. Michele, of course, host of Muzzy's Bad to the Bone Bow Hunting TV. And you are quite the aggressive bow hunter. Hello, Michele. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. It's good to watch you work on television. You work hard for your hunts.
Well, I grew up doing it, so it's something that's really, I guess you could say, was bred into me. My mom and dad. My mom hunts. My dad, of course, is in the Bow Hunting Hall of Fame, and it was just part of what we are. I mean, that was our life. So, when you're very passionate about something, you do it, and you do it to the nth degree.
Right. And tell people who your father is in Muzzy Broadheads.
John Masakia, and of course he, hunted all over the world. His favorite place was Alaska and the lower 48, but he invented the Muzzy Broadhead.
And boy, we have all relied on it for many, many years. What a great product.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, you're married to Fred Eichler. Fred, who took the grand slam of bow hunting with his recurve.
Yep. He actually took all 29 species, getting a Tule elk last year. And with a recurve bow, and we were out shooting the other day with the kids, and I've never ceased to be impressed the way that man can shoot that recurve.
Very good shot, and you as well. You have been bow hunting on television and doing all kinds of different hosting jobs on different programs. You do some DVDs for Muzzy Bad to the Bone Bucks.
Uh-huh.
Let's walk through your day, because you guys also guide full draw outfitters. If people want to hunt bear or antelope or elk out in Colorado, they can call full draw outfitters. You're doing TV shows. You're raising kids. Let's walk through a day. So you get up in the morning. What does a day in the Eichler household consist of?
Well, it depends on whether we're going to school or not.
Okay.
If it's a school year, then I usually am up early. That's the time of year that we are guiding hunters. So I'll usually have breakfast on the table somewhere between 4, maybe 3:30 or 4:30 in the morning, depending on what time of year it is for the hunters. And then I'll go back to sleep for about an hour or do some work, and then I get up and take the kids to school. And then it's either lunch for the hunters or doing something for the kids or doing something for Muzzy. It really is nonstop. And then, of course, if I'm hunting myself, that throws another whole deal in the mix there. So it's a busy day.
Right.
We start early and we end late. So that's just the life of the hunting and guiding and running companies and kids.
And kids. That's probably the most demanding of all.
Yeah, and one of the most rewarding for sure.
Absolutely. Michele Eichler with us. She's been in the archery industry for over 26 years, living in Colorado with her husband Fred and their 3 sons, Jeb, Seth, and Trent. Muzzy Products is where you began your career, I'm guessing, with your father's company, Muzzy Products, for over 26 years. You started as just an order clerk, just taking orders, and you worked your way up.
Yes, I did. I graduated from Stetson University with a finance degree, and actually at the time I was very big into showing hunters and jumpers. And that was my first passion, and my dad and my parents were very generous in letting me pursue that. But after a couple of years of doing that full-time, I decided to put my degree to work, and my dad had recently received the patent on Muzzy Broadhead. And so I actually said, hey, Dad, what do you say if I come to work? And there were 3 of us in the office when it started in a little 3,000-square-foot building, and everything was entered by hand, and boy, we've come a long way, I'll tell you.
And you do an awful lot to promote archery. You've been with the Archery Trade Association since 1998, and I have watched that association evolve and grow and really commit itself not only to the sales end of the industry, but to the promotion end of the industry. And can you talk about that a little bit more?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you're right. That organization has come so far, and I really do credit Jay McAninch for that. When he came on board, he had such a huge vision for what could be accomplished there, and the programs that we have in place now, the community archery programs, we're, if not the largest, certainly the second largest contributor to the Archery in Schools program, giving over $750,000 to that program, and then taking it a step further and saying, hey, we expose kids to the programs. They shoot a bow for 2 weeks in school, and then what do? So we've put into place a community archery program where we actually go into communities that have big populations where we feel it would really be worth it. And we work with the state, with the local communities, with the DNRs in that state, and we put in place archery parks. And along with the Easton Foundation, the Easton Sports Development Foundation, that has been very generous. I'll tell you what, some of these things are just taking off. We now have the Explore Bow Hunting program that we got a big grant for, and that's going very well. If we don't give people a place to shoot bows and expose them to them, we're not going to recruit new hunters and new bow hunters. And the Archery Trade Association has just been phenomenal. The staff there, I cannot say enough about them. They are first rate. I just got back from a meeting in Washington, D.C. with them, and I'll tell you what, very proud to be associated with them.
One of my biggest complaints about any outdoor program that I see that doesn't have enthusiastic hunters, it kills me. When I see people stroking their own egos or worrying about the size of the animal or just being obsessed with, there's a lot of good in outdoor television, don't get me wrong, but there's some that is screaming for an upgrade. And the wonderful thing about watching the Eichlers is your enthusiasm is contagious. You see someone like Fred, he's a nice guy, he's a normal guy, he speaks well, he's articulate, he's loving of his family, and he gets as excited over a doe as he does a squirrel. And I talked to Fred about that. He asked me what my favorite animal to hunt is. I said, well, they're all wonderful. Whatever I'm hunting is my favorite. But there's something about August 1st, squirrel opener with my daughter that's very exciting to me.
Yeah, and exactly. I think people get so caught up in one-upping, somebody as far as, I have a bigger deer or I got this or I got that. Instead of just going out there and, if you see a beautiful sunrise one morning and that's all you see, that's pretty incredible, and you need to take time to realize that. I just got back from in New Mexico. We took the kids down there and went frog hunting.
Excellent.
And you could not have had a better time. I don't care if you were hunting moose in Alaska, you could not have a better time than watching the kids shoot recurve bows at these frogs, a small target, and when we would hit one, I'll tell you what, it was mayhem, and we just had a blast. It is.
It's amazing to get the kids, and it's really about the kids and the family and the camaraderie. When you're guiding people, what do you see are some of the things that people often forget, or what are some of the shortcomings when they're getting into a guiding situation in an area that maybe they've never hunted in before? What would you like everybody to know before they book a guide with Full Draw Outfitters?
Well, before they book a guided hunt with anybody, you need to do your homework and make sure, because there are a lot of instances where people are very disappointed in what is offered. Our goal here for people is to give them just a tremendous hunting experience. And we have great properties that we either own or lease. We have top-notch guides. We can't control the weather. We can't control the animal. It is not a guaranteed hunt. So many people think because you're being guided that you're guaranteed you're going to shoot an animal. And we can guarantee that we're going to work our butts off. We can guarantee that we have, great properties and that you'll probably see a whole bunch and have opportunities. A lot of times clients miss like Fred and I do. But the whole thing is that enjoy the entire experience. Enjoy the camaraderie of the camp. Enjoy your fellow bow hunters. And learn from the guide. Learn from, the new terrain. I am always excited when I go to a new place and get to see just a different area, a different animal, a different way of hunting. Come away from it with something, and don't just have that one expectation that I have to go out there and shoot a big animal. And if I don't, it's not a success.
Right.
That, to me, is really just not what hunting is all about. And whether you're guided or non-guided, you need to get away from that.
You're booking the experience of the hunt. And many times on your TV shows, you've been unsuccessful in harvesting an animal, but always successful in enjoying the experience.
Absolutely. And we, 80% of our clients return here. Mm-hmm. And, that to me, whether they're successful or not, and we do have, don't get me wrong, we have a tremendous success rate. But there, there is the occasional hunter that does go home without something.
Sure.
And, it wasn't because we didn't try our best or that they didn't try their best, but, what you just got to realize is there's more to it, and you got to get more out of it than just having to take an animal home.
You killed a moose with your bow and arrow.
Yes, I did.
And that was filmed, and It was such an arduous hunt that you did. It really breathtaking scenery, and to watch you just exhausted and finally elated by that hunt. Was that one of your more difficult hunts?
Well, you know what? Yes and no. The weather was horrible. It was a 14-day hunt. We had 10 days of just socked in snow.
Right.
Cold. Everything was wet. I felt so sorry for my cameraman because he just, he had wet socks, wet boots, wet gloves. It was physically probably a very difficult hunt, but mentally I really stayed up because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, the scenery, grizzly bear, wolf tracks, just seeing the moose, and really, if I had come away from there without getting an animal, the sheer experience of it, and I'll tell you, it really was very special to me because Alaska, even though I was in the Yukon, it was the Alaska-Yukon moose I was hunting. That was my dad's favorite thing to hunt.
Okay.
And I had never hunted it before, so the entire time I was there. And he had told us about being, stuck in a tent for 10 days because it was pouring rain or pouring snow, and so every experience I had up there, just I think brought me closer to what my dad was thinking and feeling when he was there. So it was hard, but it really wasn't at the same time. It was exhilarating.
Michele Eichler, host of Muzzy Bad to the Bone Bow Hunting TV, on with us from the Outdoor Channel. We're talking about women in the outdoors. Really is essential that we get more women and children involved in our lifestyle. I don't call it a sport because I don't consider it a sport. I consider it really a lifestyle, and I'd like to have you expound upon that, the importance of recruiting women and children.
Well, the thing that I always say about this lifestyle, and it is, for us it for sure is. I mean, we get up in the morning and we go to sleep at night, and everything in between revolves around hunting in the outdoors. But the really neat thing about this lifestyle is it involves everyone. It not only involves kids, it can involve grandparents. Our middle son is real big into baseball, and I get to go, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy going there and I watch him and playing and everything, but I'm a spectator. In this particular sport where we do, everybody can be involved. You can take grandma and grandpa, they can shoot bows. Handicapped people can shoot bows. We have some handicapped hunters that come out here and hunt with us. It's something that the entire family can enjoy, and it's something that you can do from a very young age until your retirement years. And there's not a lot of sports or lifestyles out there that you can do that with. So to expose people to that and to let them know that, usually once they do realize it, they do embrace it. And yes, get your families involved. Take your kids out there. It is very important to our future, but God, what a great way to live.
In addition to bow hunting, Fred, of course, runs a hell of a trap line, from what I've heard, and also is a great photographer. What are some of the other outdoor endeavors you enjoy besides bow hunting?
Actually, I love to ride horses. We have 7 horses here at the ranch, and I grew up showing hunters and jumpers. So riding horses and anything involving the kids. We love to go fishing. There's lots of great lakes around here, and we have some ponds on our ranch here to take the kids fishing, hiking, anything where you're not inside. If your foot's outside and you're doing something, I just enjoy it. It's the way I was raised. And
you're so blessed to be living in Colorado. What a beautiful, beautiful state.
Oh, right now I'm sitting at my desk and I'm looking out and I'm looking at the Spanish Peaks, and there's still one little teeny tiny spot of snow up there above tree line, and it's absolutely incredible.
Isn't that something? Well, after being a business success, being the CEO of Muzzy Products, being one of the longest standing board members on the Archery Trade Association, host of TV shows, guests on many TV shows, and being an outfitter, one of the finest in the country, what's left for the Eichlers? What's the new horizons?
You know what? We really just love our time at home with the family. Our favorite times are going camping with the kids, and honestly, just to have more time to do more stuff right here at home. We travel a lot. My husband, he travels more than he'd like to a lot of the time. Right now he's in California on a Thule elk hunt, and just to be able to spend more time at home and take a deep breath. And the other day we had our dear friends the Palmers, who live right across the dirt road here from us. And Mike makes a traditional bow, the recurve bow, custom bow, and we were over here and we were shooting targets, and I was grilling some duck hors d'oeuvres on the grill, and just spend more time enjoying and taking deep breaths and looking at the beautiful mountains.
Of all the animals that you hunt and harvest and utilize, what are your favorite to put on the grill?
Right here in Colorado, the antelope we have is absolutely to die for.
Is that right?
Oh my God! We have so many clients that come here, and I guess they've had a bad experience. And I have tasted antelope that it was very sagey and maybe not quite to everybody's taste, but the antelope we have here is to die for. And every time we have hunters in, I always try to make antelope for them so they can see how wonderful it is. Just incredible. But antelope on the grill, backstrap on the grill from an antelope is about as good as it gets.
All right. Well, if I book a hunt with you, will you promise that we take a little bit of time out for squirrel hunting?
Sure. Yeah, we have ebert squirrels out here also, which are really cool. They have those tufts on their head, on their ears, and they come in jet black and gray, and they're really cool.
Well, Michele Eichler, you're just delightful. Your whole family is a joy to watch, and your programs are really educational, really committed to the story, which is so important in today's outdoor television. I want to thank you for all the great stuff you've done. Great product with Muzzy, and Muzzy's expanding. It's not just broadheads anymore.
No, we have a scent line, bow hunter setup, and also made a scent for Fred for his predator hunting. That stuff is amazing. I never was really big on scents and lures, but I have, over the years, I have seen that bow hunter setup just do some crazy things bringing animals in. So we have that. We have our bow fishing line. We're the largest manufacturer and supplier of bow fishing equipment, and that came in handy in New Mexico because during the day, after we shot the frogs, we did get to go out and shoot some carp. So bow fishing equipment and arrow rests and broadheads, and just really trying to let people know that, archery is the best thing out there. Get outdoors and take your kids and have fun.
Yeah, amen. And thank you, Michele Eichler. One last question for you. You've had 3 boys that you've introduced to the great outdoors. People who want to get kids involved. What I always tell them is have them come along and observe. Start with hiking and then go to fishing and then go to hunting, because there is a viscera involved in hunting that I think could jar a child that hasn't been exposed to it that often.
Sure.
So what advice would you have for getting kids involved in the great outdoors?
Well, you're exactly right. First of all, don't take them on an uncomfortable hunt. And the same thing goes with husbands with wives. So many times I've seen a hardcore husband, out there, and it's 10 degrees out, and he's like, "Come on, get them out there," and they sit in a tree, and she's miserable the whole time, or the kid is miserable. And that will definitely, turn them away from it somewhat, and it will be even harder to get them more involved. Very quick, for instance, is I took the kids hog hunting in May in Georgia, and the little one is not quite old enough to obviously shoot a hog. So while the older boys were off hunting with cameramen and doing their thing, we went exploring, and we searched for frogs, and we had some pigs come by. Just make the outdoors fun. And then, like you say, have them come along with you, maybe on a hunt that you know is going to be very successful or have a lot of action. And don't necessarily push them to do that, but have them watch you, and eventually they'll be asking to pick up a bow and go out there with you and actually go harvest an animal for themselves.
Muzzy, Bad to the Bone, Bow Hunting TV on the Outdoor Channel. Your husband's on Easton Bow Hunting TV, the World of Hunting.
And Predator Nation.
Predator Nation's a new one. That's a riot, too. Great stuff to watch. Thank you for all you do to the Eichlers. And Michele, thank you for taking time with us.
Mike, thank you so much for having me on. We really love to share our passion with everybody. So,
Michele, before we say goodbye, can you give us the number to book a hunt with Full Draw Outfitters in Colorado?
I sure can. You can either, look it up on the web, fulldrawoutfitters.com, or you can call us at 719-941-4392.
Elk, antelope, black bear, mule deer, whitetail, mountain lions, and turkeys with the Eichers.
You got it.
You got to love it. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.